What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Let's talk a little New Orleans Saints as the third preseason game took place yesterday. Basically, no starters played, right? So,
for them, a lot for the Titans.
Yeah, for the Saints, there's nothing, there's no Derek Carr takes or anything else to be had after this game. There was Trevor Penning playing. There was Spencer Rattler playing. There were some guys defensively who showed out. But the story is Spencer Rattler, right?
Yes.
After that performance yesterday. So Jake Haener gets a start. Haener also plays well. I mean, Haener's stat line would have looked great as well had he not had a touchdown called back for penalty. But the thing about Haener versus Rattler is, while they're both playing very well, even if Haener's doing slightly better, which maybe you could statistically argue, it doesn't matter, because the reason why Rattler is so exciting is the combination of physical potential and what he's doing here in year number one. Like, Haener has less physical potential. It's year two, whereas Rattler, this is his first crack at it. We know about all that. Like, the ceiling just feels so much higher on Spencer Rattler. And maybe what I loved most about yesterday's performance is game one, he was tantalizing. Game two was a major whoa, let's pump the brakes. So to then bounce back, and in game three to have such a solid performance, to deliver that dime of a throw to Equanimeous St. Brown between about four defenders for the touchdown. Like, as impressive as the performance was, it's the bounce back from the disappointment of game two that makes me feel really good here.
Spencer Rattler has the ability to be one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the world and be a starting quarterback in the NFL. There's a reason why we were talking about him 2.5 years ago potentially being a first-round pick and not in the late first round, in the early first round. He's got that ability. Now, he dealt with a lot of things in college, one of them being Caleb Williams, who was going to probably take anybody's job.
Yeah.
And he did. He came in Red River, won the game, won the job. Spencer Rattler goes to South Carolina. It wasn't as consistent as you wanted to see, and a lot of that because of the bomb squad in front of him.
Yeah.
Again, he never complained. Even yesterday, he threw an absolute dime to the tight end on about an 18-yard dig route, hits him right in the numbers, and he's like, all right, let's go. Didn't complain, right? Didn't go and shake his head or no, he's like, hey, let's go. I have dealt with this. This is not new for me. I have dealt with guys around me failing, and he was so good, T, that he's the most talented quarterback in the Saints quarterback room, and I don't think it's close. As far as talent, I'm not talking about he needs to be the starter right now. I'm not calling for him to be the starter. But he's got the most upside, to your point.
Yeah.
He can make every single throw, and the Saints could potentially have a steal on their hands getting him in the fifth round. He was the highest-graded player the Saints had on offense yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I mean, 85.6.
Damn.
The out and up that he threw between the two DBs, I don't know that any other quarterback in that game on that field, Titan or Saint, could have made that throw.
So he is QB2 going into the season. Why would he not be?
I think he is, because it's not like you have, to your point, if you had a Billy Volek, a Chase Daniel, a whoever, be a veteran guy who's like, hey, we like Spencer a lot. His upside's more than these two guys, but they've been in the league so long, and if we had to start them for 10 games, they'd get the first opportunity at it. You don't have that.
No,
you've got two guys who are basically
equal.
the same.
Yes.
And Haener has not been bad.
He's been quite good.
I mean, I think your quarterback room is interesting because a lot of the fan base does not want the starter in there, but they feel good about the 2 and 3, and it's not one of those situations where the backup quarterback's the most popular guy. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's because you see yesterday – a guy in Spencer Rattler that's going against, again, a lot of the Titans starters. Like, the Titans treated this game much differently than the Saints did. I mean, Will Levis played the entire first quarter. Tajay Spears was in that entire game. Even when –
how about that hurdle he tried?
I know.
He got lifted up like a cheerleader doing a stunt.
Even when Mason Rudolph came into the game, they kept the one offensive line. He was in there with Cush, in that entire one offensive line. So this was their game. that they were going to make their starters play the longest.
Yeah.
And you still went out there and did that. It was impressive.
So I think Rattler's QB2 and maybe even potential, I don't know if this season goes really, really south immediately. And if Derek Carr has just hit that end of the road that quarterbacks sometimes hit out of nowhere, right? Like, think about when Russell Wilson was a rookie back in Seattle and how all that went down. Like, you could potentially maybe see a world where if things go very south, he becomes a guy, or maybe he gets an opportunity because of injury. But either way, I feel like he has to be your QB2 here. Other major takeaways for the game, the Trevor Penning jet sweep play was I've seen enough. I've seen enough. And he
did play better, but yes,
it's not because he got beat. It's not because he got beat. It's that body language. He got bench pressed into oblivion and put in the ball carrier's lap, and then seemed mad at the guy running the ball for not, like, I don't know, for not, like, what, like cutting up inside of him, like somehow getting around him. It really, really frustrated me. And you could say he played better, but the thing is, he's going to always remain limited with that form.
Yeah.
He's still out here shuffling, clicking his heels.
Just because I said it was better does not mean it was good.
Go look at the touchdown play. The block that he has there, he gets. I think Udo's got to be your starter.
It's a liability. If you put Trevor Penning out there right now in a quarterback that probably deals with pressure worse than anybody in the NFL, he's in that conversation, right? Clean pocket, Derek Carr's completely different. And you can say, oh, it's every quarterback. No, some of those quarterbacks and the way that they can thrive in chaos is incredible. He's not one of them. You have got to forget ceiling, forget all, like, what potential can be. You got to put the one right now, currently, that's going to protect Derek Carr the best and give him the best opportunity, because that is your quarterback. Yeah. That's who you have moving forward. So solidify that. Don't worry about potential. Don't worry about having, Trevor Penning be a bust. He's already there. It is what it is, okay? And you've got a couple on your roster right now. You can't try to be the GM that tries to put him out there to fix your mistake. That's not how it works. The best GMs to me are guys like John Lynch. John Lynch drafted Trey Lance and traded an entire draft for him to select him, realized he screwed up, had what he had in Brock Purdy, and trades Trey Lance to the Cowboys. Thanks for those 5 interceptions over the weekend to the Chargers. And that's a good
Trey Lance who
5 picks to the Chargers. That is a GM that's not worried about always being right. He wants to be the best team. So you trade Trey Lance, you start Brock Purdy, and you don't try to force the issue.
So, okay, but not forcing the issue is interesting, Jake, because I think a lot of Saints fans right now are maybe trying to force the Rattler thing a bit too much. Like Ryan Smith says, I'd rather have us burn this year and roll with Rattler than stick to mediocre status quo. I would say this, though. Also, let's think about what's best for Spencer Rattler. QB2 is a pretty good spot to be. Like, have we not seen now Green Bay use this idea of, like, developing a talented quarterback, giving him a little bit of runway? Have we not seen him use that to great effect? I'm not saying if you don't get desperate, you make a move, and obviously injury is injury, but, like, it also might not be the best thing for Rattler to immediately be QB1. Maybe it is, right? But other guys have been kind of ruined by being thrown in there a bit too early, and so I'm pumped on Rattler. I mean, you may have gotten a Dak Prescott type guy here, a later round pick that's going to end up being one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. But it's just let's not like, I don't want to throw him to the wolves too early. Not force it. Now if the situation demands it here in a few weeks, yeah, man, then it is what it is. But give him a little runway to still learn this thing a bit, and he's going to be better for it.
I'm with you. Again, the upside's better than Derek Carr, but right now, Derek Carr, what's this, 11th year in the NFL? Obviously, he is going to know things about the game that Spencer Rattler has yet to learn. And I really do think you have something. When you selected Spencer Rattler, we were all excited because we knew what the talent was.
Yeah.
And if you could just find the things around him to give him the chance to show, because he just didn't have that at South Carolina the last 2 years. You and I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl. We were blown away by his maturity.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we watched a Netflix show when he's 17 years old and he's popping off. We're like, oh, that guy's a turd.
Yeah, unfair.
Forget about him. Let's cancel that guy.
Unfair.
It's like, man, he was 17, he had a camera in his face, and when you're on a reality show, those producers are trying to do what? Get moments like that. Now, he did those things, but they try to get the juiciest moments and put those out there. And we all thought we knew who Spencer Rattler was. Again, on air and off the air. And it's important to say, because on the air is one thing. You're coached up. Off the air, I mean, he was incredible. We were like, oh, my man, I did not expect that. So you have a guy who was a first-round talent, dealt with adversity, a generational type guy, and Caleb Williams comes, takes his job. He goes to South Carolina. There's ups, there's downs. I mean, the ups, the Clemson-Tennessee run was as good as anybody played in the country that year in a 2-game stretch. Yeah. But then we know, I mean, he had no one blocking for him this year. The first game, he got hit like 17 times.
Which may actually be a positive for him.
Yes, because he's like, holy hell, a clean pocket?
Yeah, like too many.
I can step into this throw. I don't have to throw it like I'm Derek Jeter at shortstop jumping up in the air.
So many great college quarterbacks come from great college programs that have great O-lines that are better than their opponents the majority of the time, and so they don't know how to handle it when you're on a more even playing field. Like for Rattler, he might think the Saints O-line is good. I mean, he's like, wow, this is awesome, guys. Penning,
he's
you're
like,
the
oh
man.
My God, Landon Young, you're a stud.
You got a shutdown tackle out here.
He probably is.
So, but again, guys, look.
He probably is. That's
give
so
it a little
bad.
time. Give it a little time.
That's so bad.
And if it goes disastrously, maybe it happens. But either way, you gotta be tantalized. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.